So with a Stein, what we're going to look for first off is it Metlock? Is it a name, a collectible
Is that a vendor?
name, no name?
Is that like a
Metlock was
maker?
Yeah, they were a maker. It was a place. Metlock is what everybody knew it as.
Okay.
And when it comes to who made it, what they make it from, well, it's glazed pottery, period style culture, German,
Right.
Middle European somewhere. Age, old doesn't mean valuable anymore.
Right.
It's unfortunate, right? Because
That generation's gone.
kids don't want it.
Nope.
Right? So all of this, right?
Right.
It's you can offer it to your kids and grandkids, they're not going to want
Nobody wants it.
it. Right. And then lastly, condition. So how many of them are out there that people could, so let's say a collector wanted a Metlock Stein. How many are out there? Thousands, hundreds of thousands, right? Because they were functional.
Right.
Most
And I
of
have
them
5 more at home.
of it,
Yes.
just like this.
Right.
Okay. So we have a mark, and I can't tell if that's an H or an M. So I believe it's an H. So a lot of times on a Stein, they will have the measure on here.
Oh.
1 liter, half liter, whatever it happens to be. This, I believe, is the shape.
Oh.
Because this is molded, and they would have made lots of them, right? And this, if you look, this is not super crisp and refined.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably a later from a mold that had been used many times.
Okay. Got
Right?
it.
Who manufacturer was MZ Austria. So who is MZ? Okay, Moritz Zdekauer. Moritz. Good luck with that one. Zedekauer, right? So it's Austrian porcelain. That obviously we could tell anyway. JG likely was the artist, and X is some sort of a factory mark. And in some cases, that could mean a second. It means there was a flaw to it, a pop in the glaze or
okay,
something.
okay.
They'll mark an X in that because they can't sell
Not
it.
okay.
These would be hand decorated, so these
Okay.
would be more important or valuable than this necessarily on its
Okay.
own. But the truth is, dresser sets like this.
Oh no, but no.
So
I just
we know
wanted,
what it is, right?
Yeah, I just I don't know.
MZ Austria, and I'm not even going to try to
Exactly.
mispronounce it and say something wrong. Or they're all marked differently.
I want to talk to you about this. On the bottom, you see there are 2 marks. And the reason is that in Limoges, France, one company made this undecorated. And then across the road, another company actually did what they were called blanks and put the decorations on.
Oh.
So that's why there are 2 marks. And in 1891, we had a tariff passed. Tariff is not new in the history of the United States. And it said anything coming in between 1891 and later to 1914 has to have the name of the country. And it has to be in the Roman alphabet. And you can't say Österreich, you have to say Austria. So it has to be in English, in the Roman alphabet. And the reason for that is to collect tariff. So the ship is in Charleston or New York, and the Coast Guard, a division of the Treasury, goes out to make sure it's marked. And then it could be sold in the United States, but the tariff got paid right then in cash. So that's why there are 2 marks. So your thought that was your great-grandmother's, this was made between 1891 and 1914. So that sounds right for your great-great. And this is porcelain. The gold rim you see is 14 karat gold. If you think, Mike, you can take a razor blade and scrape it off, it's thinner than a human hair.
Oh dear.
But it will wear off in a dishwasher. Now, the decorations you see, the roses, is actually what's called transfer process. So you have this plate in iron and carved into it all the roses. And you ink it up and you put this tissue paper on that's extremely thin. And then you pull it off, inked up ever so carefully, and put it on the blank, so to speak.
All the way around.
All the way around. And then when it goes in the kiln, instantaneously that little bit of tissue burns off, but it leaves the color. It
Wow.
leaves that. So it's a decal, but not like what you and I may have put on model plastic ships in the 1950s and airplanes from hobby stores. So it's actually called transfer process. So the point is, it's hand decorated, meaning it's not machine, but it's not hand painted. So it's hand decorated, it is porcelain, and the problem with it is, of course, it needs to be hand washed and hand dried, and you shouldn't put it in a dishwasher. And the young people today in their 30s and 40s don't really want to do that. So a big set like you have, you brought me the list, some years ago would have been $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, and now it's maybe a fourth of that. So it still has value, but it's significantly less because at the moment the market doesn't like it. And my advice to people is, you know, use it at Thanksgiving, use it at Christmas, get it out. If something gets broken, so what? It was made to be used. And this, in its day, would have been a very expensive, nice set. Because all that gold is in fact 14 karat gold.
Real gold.
And that was
Wow.
done. This would be put on a machine, it'd be turning, and the little brush comes in and does it. But it's still hand decorated.
How did the gold
Adhere?
adhere? I mean, that wasn't part of the.
No, it's actually called water gilding. There was, in essence, sort of a glue that mixed in that, and it stays, never peels off. So so your set's really very nice. I hope you use it.